the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up!
Welcome everyone to another episode of This is CorbinCenter, and we got a lot on this one, which is great. But first of all, a big recognition here out to one of my favorite photographers and State Fair buddy foodie. This one goes out to you, Sarah. You are the Corbinite Recognition. State Fair was super fun. I had a blast. It was awesome. Thank you always, and introducing me to a magnitude of amazing food that's out there that I might not even know existed. So there is that. But we have so much to jump into, and first, let's go right into this. The last episode of This is CorbinCenter became the second most viewed episode in the history of the series. And I have a challenge to everybody that says we can do it again. And I think we can get this one over 100 views as well, because there's going to be a lot that I need to share and a lot that I need to talk about. And one thing that was asked of me is on the last episode, obviously I said rest in peace Terry Funk, but with how last week planned out, it was, it was back to back. But I had somebody comment that said, why didn't you do a shout out to Bray? And first of all, R.I.P. Bray, but please keep in mind that I filmed these on a Wednesday night and then they air on Thursday. How exactly was I supposed to do that shout out, especially when the news broke after this was released? So please keep in mind and look at the timetable and go through. I feel like sometimes I need to address some idiocy. That's the biggest thing there. That's what I got to do. But I also got to look at a lot of the accomplishments that went here. Not only did CorbinCenter get 100 views, which was great, but my Facebook fan page reached 3,500 basically followers, which is great. So I really appreciate that. Many of you are probably either clicking on the link to come from here and get here. So the achievements are all the way across the board. And then, again, I mentioned I went to the State Fair, even though I had the week off from wrestling, the first official weekend that I've had off all summer. Yes, I've had wrestling weekends I've had weekends that I haven't had wrestling. I've had canceled shows. I've had all that, but I've still had crazy busy events, and so I've always been either traveling or wrestling. This was the first one that didn't have all that, and I was glad to be able to relax, go to the State Fair with Ash for the first time, and then also, like I said, I went a second time, which is nice. But and it's not too long. I'm going to be jumping right back into wrestling here. So, again, Labor Day weekend is busy. By the time you're watching this, either I will be on my way to Freelance to take out Dan the Dad. That's the big... I've wrestled Dan the Dad before, and, he always does this thing, and he always holds his coffee. And I really need you to take this seriously, because I talked about what freelance means to me, and I talked about the idea that Freelance is a chance for me to always rejuvenate myself. And some people have been like, are you still a part of Freelance? Look, I wasn't there in the summer, and I'm not going to BS you at all. When I lost my tag team championships, I seemed to lost my place. And I had that same feeling in Chicago before when another promotion decided that I wasn't valuable enough to be there. But it was Freelance that rejuvenated me. Freelance that restored basically my passion for coming down to Chicago. And it will do that once again, because I am coming back renewed. And I'm looking forward to being able to show everybody what they may have forgot, that I'm a former Freelance champion. And so with that said, Dan, I would not want to be you right now. You are going to be a stepping stone in my way. And then I come back and I have a no-ring match with Jordan at Timebomb. And everyone is commenting, Jordan's going to kick your ass, you're going to get beat up, you're going to get banged up, and everyone's concerned. Even my consultant's concerned. Now remember, I've partaken in these no-ring matches, and I'm going to be fine. And I know Jordan's on a roll. Look, I'm not looking past you at all. You've had some really hard-hitting matches. You've really stepped up at Timebomb, and I said straight up, I admitted it in Snapchat. I said that you are definitely probably the forerunner here. You are definitely in the contention to be champion, and you're going to challenge Brian Keith sometime down the road. I guarantee that. But if I beat you, that propels me. And with Brian Keith being on Rampage here, a lot of eyes are going to be on him, especially when I'm coming for the top championship that is at Time Bomb. So don't think that I'm looking through that. I understand what all this means. I've been wrestling for almost 20 years. I know that you got to beat people to get in position. You don't just get handed things around here. So I completely 100% understand what I'm up against. And Jordan, I am actually looking forward to a fight. Now, in regards to the Balsam Lake show that First Wrestling's doing, as we go back to Balsam Lake, I might regret those words because I might be a little banged up, might be a little beat up. And isn't it supposed to be 99 freaking degrees? Based on where I see, like, I mean, I thought I was done with the summer heat. I thought maybe Taste of Minnesota would have been the hottest, and then, I mean, Heritage Days in St. Paul Park was hot. I am 100% convinced this summer is trying to brutalize me and take advantage of my gingerness, and I don't know how many outdoor shows I'm going to have that I can safely say that, I mean, like, I might have to wrestle with an umbrella over me or be completely covered up, and then I'm just going to sweat, and it's going to be brutal. So maybe I'll get a hydro suit. We were talking about those this weekend at the State Fair. Maybe I'll get one of those. It might be cushy to bump on, too. That might be kind of nice. But this is all just going to lead into eventually the biggest show that I got coming up here is the Mall of America. So this will be my last stop at First Wrestling before Saturday Night Nitro 2. And you know from last year I got people talking. And that weekend is also going to be crazy. Look, I'm not going to be at FanFest. I don't know if you put two and two together. Some people haven't quite figured this out. I'm going to be at Mondo Lucha, and I'm going to be in a focused 6-man tag at Mondo Lucha. I'm gonna represent my crew. And I threw away Goodwill. This was the last place that people liked me, it seemed. But what's the story with the scorpion and the frog, where the frog helps the scorpion across and then he still stings him anyway because it's just in his nature? Look, I have been conditioned to just be that guy that turns on people. So again, I apologize for nothing. And I also don't apologize to anyone of the First Wrestling crew that, why are you not going to be there? Because I'm going to be anywhere else. And again, all of you were so excited when Devon Monroe beat me for the championship. You were so excited when Devon Monroe beat me for the championship. Look, Devon Monroe is going to be there. That's fine. You got your champion there. I don't need to pander to you. Before, I was the poster boy last year. I was the guy who was doing all the media appearances because I was the champion. But now you've already seemingly forgotten about that. So I'm not coming to FanFest. I don't need to be around any of you, but I am coming to Saturday Night Nitro, and I will guarantee I'm going to do something memorable. Now, I was really thinking about feeding my consultants something for Let's Get Dirty. But I almost don't know if I would have been able to do this and have a better segment than what the dirt sheets are literally doing right now, embarrassing themselves about All In. And let me take a moment. I have been very vocal about this since the passing of Brody Lee, because people would write really terribly written articles that would have got them kicked out of any middle school, high school writing. They wouldn't even qualified to write captions in a yearbook. And suddenly you think because you put it inside your bio on Twitter that you're a wrestling journalist and that you've submitted articles to certain publications online that gives you credibility? No. I know about two people in honestly that I think who are capable, like, that are actually credible writers, that they are capable of finding the stories and fact checking, and they would be literally insulted by the lack of research. And it was on the forefront in this whole case. As there was new information, new false information, and everyone wanted to jump on it so fast that they immediately threw fact checking and credibility out the window. I said from day one that the biggest thing that you could do, that I thought that WWE, I said this years ago, what WWE should do is they should just have somebody who just leaks information to the insiders, the dirt sheets, whatever they want to call themselves. What I'm going to call them is the bullshit, the raking of the bull. That's what I'm going to call them, because none of it is correct. And most of the stuff that they're going to put is the article, the clickbait article. has nothing to do either with what they're writing about, or it's what they would love to write about, because their dream is to break the big story that's going to come in, break that big main event, but here they are talking about stuff that they already know, or having to rate butts of female wrestlers because they have failed at being able to be a writer. So they think that this is the best way, is to put a clickbait and put a photo up there and be like, well, look, people are viewing this. Well, of course you're going to get views when you got every perv coming to your YouTube channel to click the link or click the photo just to see somebody's butt. Now, that's not journalism, but whatever you guys want to claim to be, just know that we see right through that immediately, because every single time that a new development hit, you were so quick to retract. And then rather than admitting that you didn't do your credible fact-checking work, what you did is you said, well, my sources told me that this and this and this. I heard from multiple sources. Well, I want you to know that if you have sources who you think were friends, clearly they're lying to you, because they're also sick of all your because they just want to make you look bad. You're the fall guy. Do you think anybody that's working for these companies are going to sacrifice their careers to give you a couple clicks on your stupid phony website? No, they're not going to do this. Do you think that the top guys that are there, that are giving you information, are going to risk the idea of what they have right now for you because you suddenly want that media pass? Oh, congratulations, look at me. Here's a photo. Here's me interjecting myself in the scenario. Look who I know. Look who I can name drop. Look who I can talk about. And that is all you ever want. And again, the idea that the basic level of all this, and you complain and you whine when you get it wrong, and you blame everybody else for not being correct. And that's your fault. That's your fault. Here, let me give you a very direct headline. Darin Corbin says that the majority of wrestling journalists are fakes. So there you go. There, you can't mess it up. Try and mess it up and try and figure it out. But maybe that means that you would actually have to watch and fact check this whole video, which, again, thanks for the view. That's great. But at least make sure that you pull the right information out and stop doing this thing where you keep retracting, keep waiting for the biggest thing. Because I'm telling you right now, you're making this all look stupid. You're making everything look dumb. And when people are like, I don't know what to believe anymore, do you think they're going to believe you? What separates you from anybody else? And all you want is you want to be the guy who breaks the big story. And it's pathetic. It's honestly pathetic. And then when you actually carry on into the wrestling business and you actually try and come into a locker room or, heaven forbid, step foot in the ring, you suddenly think people are going to care because you write for a certain spot? Leave your entitlement at the door. It doesn't matter what you do. And by the way, people are going to continue to lie to you. They're going to continue to fake you out. And the more you do it, and the more that you continue to do this, it just proves their point. Just know that you have wrecked any chance for spoilers. And when you think they're zigging, they're going to zag. And again, you can sit there and you can just keep throwing it at the wall. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, guess what? This is what I heard. This is going to be the main event. Guess what's going to happen? This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. Everyone laughs at your stupidity over a historical pay-per-view. That's one thing that I think is ridiculous. But anyway, I could share my upcoming schedule. You kind of know what it is. Let me throw it up there briefly. I got a lot of stuff that's coming on here. So if you're at one of these shows, come right up to me and interview me. Ask me a couple questions and be like, hey, I heard you said bad things about me because I don't know how to do my job and I don't know how to write. Well, here's the deal. Check out my Patreon. I talk more about these things. Follow again on YouTube. And again, if you want to bring this up to me, maybe you'll be the feature on here and maybe we can actually get some legitimate attention for you that would actually be based on facts. This is CorbinCenter, factually based, because I actually do my resource, because the source is me. Thank you.